Olá, pessoal, tudo bem? Sejam bem-vindos e bem-vindas ao canal Inglês de Verdade. Hoje, você ouvirá um pequeno podcast para testar seu listening em inglês. Após ouvi-lo, você responderá 5 perguntas sobre o assunto falado para testar a sua compreensão. Fazendo isso, além de praticar seu listening, você ainda vai ganhar vocabulário em inglês. Caso queira, você pode ativar a legenda em inglês que está disponível no vídeo. Então, vamos começar.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're taking a deep dive into something truly fascinating today. It's about how learning English isn't just, about picking up new words. It actually transforms your brain and, well, your entire life. You've probably heard people say that learning a new language opens your mind, right? So today, we're going to explore the science, the experience. Why? That's not just a nice saying. It seems like it's a profound truth. We'll dig into some surprising facts and insights that might just change how you think about language learning.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how the insights we've been looking at really reveal the deep science and the personal shifts behind that feeling. It truly is a profound adventure. It reshapes how you think, how you feel, even how you see the world around you. We'll try to simplify some of the more complex stuff, just to make it really clear how impactful this journey can be for you, way beyond just grammar rules and vocabulary lists.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. One of the analogies you hear a lot is that learning English is like going to the gym, but like for your brain. It sounds catchy, sure, but how does that actually work on a physiological level? What are the actual physical benefits happening inside your head when you're really engaging with English consistently?
Well, it's a remarkably accurate analogy, actually, because the brain truly does get a workout. When you practice English, maybe you're listening to someone speak really fast or trying to form a sentence yourself, right? Or reading something complex, writing an email, you're actively exercising multiple brain areas all at the same time. Think of it like cross-training for your mind. Our exploration into this shows that people who regularly use 2 or more languages often have superior executive function.
Executive function. Okay, can you unpack that a bit? What exactly is that?
Absolutely. Executive function is basically your brain's air traffic controller. It's the set of cognitive processes that help you manage your attention, switch between different tasks, filter out distractions, make plans, that sort of thing. For example, when you're speaking English, your brain is constantly suppressing your native language while activating English. And then it's quickly shifting between different word choices, different grammatical structures. It's doing a lot. This constant mental juggling strengthens the neural pathways tied to working memory, which leads to more efficient recall, across the board. Studies consistently show this results in better memory, better problem-solving skills, and even greater creativity.
Wow. So it's not just about having more words in your head, but it's a genuine rewiring, making your brain more efficient, more adaptable.
Precisely. It's about enhancing your neural plasticity. That's your brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself by forming new synaptic connections and strengthening the ones it already has. The more you engage with English, the more these connections are formed and reinforced. It's a physical transformation, actually. This constant rewiring is the basis of cognitive improvement, like lifting heavier weights at the gym strengthens your muscles, right? It's truly a measurable increase in your brain's agility. So as you listen, maybe consider, what specific brain exercises do you feel you're doing when you engage with English, beyond just, memorizing lists?
That's a really powerful way to frame it. Not just learning, but actually building a more agile brain. But okay, it's not just about what happens inside your head, is it? It feels like learning a new language could also fundamentally shift how you interpret the world around you. So what does this all mean for how we actually see the world?
You're absolutely right. Another profound effect of learning English is that it genuinely changes the way you perceive and understand the world. English, like any language, has this huge lexicon, right, with unique words and expressions that often don't have a perfect one-to-one equivalent in other languages. Take words like serendipity, finding something good or valuable by chance, but in a clever way. Or wanderlust, that really strong, almost inherent desire to travel and explore.
Ah. Okay, so it's not just adding a word to your vocabulary list, but gaining a whole new concept, a new way to categorize something.
Exactly. When you learn these words, you're not just memorizing sounds. You're acquiring conceptual frameworks, sort of like cognitive hooks. These words let you categorize, describe, reflect on experiences and feelings you might have had before, but maybe you lacked the specific lens to articulate them or even fully appreciate them. It's almost like discovering a new color you couldn't quite name before, and this subtly influences your thought processes. There's this concept, linguistic relativity, which suggests the language you speak can actually influence how you think and perceive reality. It's fascinating stuff.
And this goes beyond just single words too, doesn't it? Like, you can experience whole stories, ideas, in a completely new, maybe deeper way.
Precisely. Understanding English means you gain this incredible ability to, well, consume movies, listen to music, read books, all in their original language. You get to bypass the inherent limitations of subtitles or translations, which are helpful, but they're always a filter. This allows for a much deeper, more personal kind of cultural immersion. You start noticing nuances in humor, subtle emotional cues, specific cultural details that sometimes just disappear or get changed when something is translated. Imagine really getting the layers of a joke in a sitcom or the true emotional punch of a song lyric without any filters. It's like peeling back a layer and getting closer to the original message. Whether that's a news report from another country or a classic novel, think about it. What new layers might you discover? Not just in entertainment, but maybe in understanding different viewpoints or information sources by accessing them directly.
Yeah, it really makes you think about how much we might miss otherwise. Okay, so we've talked about these internal shifts, the brain getting stronger, new perspectives opening up. But what about the external changes, the real-world impact on your life? Maybe started with something really fundamental, like confidence.
Oh, that's a huge part of the journey, absolutely. Learning English can profoundly boost your confidence. I mean, many people, especially at the beginning, feel a natural shyness or, nervousness when trying to speak English, particularly with native speakers. It's a very common hurdle. But the thing is, the more you practice, the more familiar the sounds and structures become, and the less afraid you become of making mistakes. It's really crucial to remember that making mistakes isn't just normal. It's a vital, totally inherent part of the learning process itself. Each error is just, well, this feedback, right? A data point that helps you refine your understanding and, ultimately, your fluency. That consistent practice, it really does build courage and comfort over time.
And this growing confidence, it isn't just a feeling inside your head, right? It actually translates into tangible, real-world opportunities, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about how you feel, but what you can actively do and achieve with the language.
It absolutely does. I mean, English is undeniably the international lingua franca in so many huge sectors: business, science, technology. The list goes on. Because of this, it just opens up a surprising number of doors. If you dream of working for a global company, maybe collaborating on international research projects or even pursuing higher education abroad, English often serves as the essential key. Or just think about traveling. Imagine going to another country and not just being able to ask for directions, but actually engaging in meaningful conversations with new friends you meet, understanding local customs better, or easily navigating tricky situations without all that stress. That's just a wonderful feeling of independence and connection that really enriches every experience. It truly can be a passport to achieving your dreams, whatever they might be, a new career path, exploring the world.
That image of independence is incredibly vivid.
Yeah, very relatable. It really is like English can be your passport. So beyond those practical opportunities, one of the best parts that came up in our discussions is how learning English helps you connect with people. How does it make us better at understanding others, though? Beyond just, speaking the same words.
Yeah, that's really one of the most rewarding aspects, I think. English is such a global language, right? Which means it enables you to converse with people from pretty much every corner of the world. You can join language exchange groups, participate in these vibrant online communities, or just strike up conversations with travelers you happen to meet. This creates these unique opportunities to share your own culture and learn deeply about others. You might discover new music genres you've never even heard of, try incredible new foods based on recommendations, or hear these really compelling stories, things you just wouldn't have access to otherwise. So many rich, lasting friendships start exactly this way. Right. But it's not just about meeting new people, is it? It sounds like it's also about fostering a deeper level of understanding, maybe even empathy.
Exactly. That's a really important point. Learning a new language, especially one spoken by so many diverse cultures like English, it inherently makes you more empathetic and open-minded. You start to realize, really internalize, that people from different backgrounds approach problems differently, express emotions differently, maybe even perceive time or space differently. And that's not just okay, it's incredibly enriching. This whole process kind of forces you to step outside your own cultural lens and genuinely consider alternative viewpoints, which in turn makes you a more flexible and effective communicator. And honestly, Probably a kinder, more patient person, too. It really broadens your perspective on humanity itself. Just think of the richness that new friendships can bring to your life, friendships born from sharing a language and achieving that deeper understanding.
It's pretty amazing to think that just learning a language can have such a profound impact on your character, your ability to connect meaningfully. Okay, before we wrap up, though, it feels important to talk about expectations, because a lot of people feel they need to speak absolutely perfect English, but our sources seem to have a very different take on that.
Oh, that's such a crucial point, and it's one that often holds learners back, unfortunately. It's so important to remember that learning a language is a continuous journey. It's really not a fixed destination you just arrive at one day. You absolutely do not have to speak perfect English to be successful or to be understood or even just to enjoy the process. I mean, think about it. Even native speakers make grammatical errors sometimes or use informal language. It happens. The most important thing is just to keep practicing. Focus on intelligibility, Can people understand you? Focus on effective communication rather than flawless grammar every single time. And maybe most importantly, try to enjoy the journey itself. Celebrate every bit of progress, no matter how small it seems. Every new word, every new phrase you manage to use successfully, that's a significant step forward, really.
Yeah. So if you're learning English right now, you should really be proud of yourself. You're not just like studying a language out of a textbook.
Exactly. You're growing as a person in so many different ways. You're physically training and strengthening your brain. You're expanding your world beyond what you might have thought possible. You're building profound confidence, and you're connecting with people from countless different cultures. It's actually quite remarkable when you look at it from that kind of holistic perspective.
Okay, so to kind of recap our deep dive today, learning English is truly this powerful, transformative journey. It measurably strengthens your brain, helps you see the world with completely new eyes, builds your personal confidence, and opens up amazing, tangible opportunities. It really is, like you said, a passport to a bigger, brighter world.
Which, well, it raises an important question for you, doesn't it? In what ways will your next step in learning English, maybe something you do tomorrow or next week, open up a new connection, or perhaps a new understanding that you haven't even imagined yet, maybe revealing a new facet of yourself or the world?
Keep going. And remember, every word you learn today, every sentence you manage to form, is a step closer to realizing those dreams. We'll see you on the next deep dive.
E é isso, pessoal. Espero que você tenha gostado do nosso podcast de hoje e que ele tenha te ajudado a treinar seu listening e aprender novas palavras em inglês. Não se esqueça de deixar o seu like, se inscrever no canal Inglês de Verdade e ativar o sininho para não perder nenhum conteúdo. Conte aqui nos comentários como você se saiu nas perguntas e se quer mais episódios como este. Obrigado por assistir e até o próximo vídeo.
E se você assistiu até aqui e quer aprender inglês sem gastar um centavo durante todo o processo de aprendizagem, com acesso a ferramentas, atalhos e mentoria que vai fazer com que você absorva o inglês de forma rápida e natural, eu te convido a conhecer o método dos 9 Passos para a Fluência, onde você vai conhecer a forma correta de aprender um inglês.
Good. Now we can go in the water.
Com acesso a ferramentas que irão te auxiliar nesse aprendizado. E o melhor, todas encontradas de forma gratuita. E entre essas ferramentas, uma você usará para manter contato com nativos do inglês para que sua prática de conversação seja mais eficaz. Porque nada melhor do que absorver o inglês diretamente da fonte. E quando eu digo que essas ferramentas são gratuitas, eu não quero dizer que apenas o primeiro mês será grátis, como degustação. E que se você quiser continuar usando, você terá que pagar. Todas as ferramentas que serão apresentadas a você nesse método são gratuitas para o resto da vida, até quando você quiser usar. Esse método é perfeito para você que não tem ideia de como e por onde começar, e para você que já tem um conhecimento em inglês, mas ainda não conquistou a fluência. Nele você será apresentado a atalhos que vão acelerar seu aprendizado, que estudantes que estão começando não fazem ideia que existem. 99% das pessoas que colocarem esse método em prática, seguindo passo a passo, conseguirão realizar seu sonho de se tornar fluente em inglês. Então, se você acha que finalmente chegou a hora de realizar seu sonho e dominar de vez o inglês, clique no primeiro link da descrição, que eu tenho certeza que você não vai se arrepender.